Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a bonus blue moon for the month of May tarot oracle reading. And Virgo, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Virgo, we all have a little bit of Virgo in us somewhere. Where does this show up for you? In which, if you do have your birth chart. And also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Keep in mind that if it's been a while since I posted this, you could look back and see what was going on in your life back then and get further clarity as to your situation now. All right, just had to double check here that I have this set up for us properly. All right, we're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and this is the Queen of Cups. Hi, Stella. Are you going to purr for us? Okay. Sorry, my cat's got happy feet, so I'm just, she'll settle down here in a minute. All right, the Queen of Cups is talking about, she's one of four queens. She's the most maternal, most likely to be in a traditional relationship. The Queen of Cups is representing the element of the heart, of the cups. And this is talking about, she has, her cup is so big, it's like a trophy, because she has a lid on it because she is a container of unconditional love. Quite often this can represent your maternal bloodline, like your mother, grandmother, great-grandmother, etc. And at times it can even, if you have a spouse, it could represent his maternal bloodline or hers. And then this is talking about the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is representing a bunch of gifts are in these 7 cups, and it's a lot of opportunities. The thing is about this card is the opportunities are disguised quite often as challenges. And like there's a snake in one, there's flowers, there's a laurel wreath representing winning and beauty. And then there's this mushroom, if you want to hallucinate, I guess. I'm not sure why that one is there. So this is talking about, a lot of different gifts in the cups. And for each person, they would represent something different. So this is talking about, there's a lot of opportunity open to you, but you have to be aware of it. And you're like a black hole, basically, like just sucking in these opportunities, but you have to be able to sort through them and see which one has the most possibility for you at this time, or maybe there's a couple. This is energy that you're destined for. So at any point, you could these could be available to you, but like a black hole, you're the center of your universe and you have to put your own spin on these. So if you don't, if you have to apply your own energy for them to become, a possibility that turns out to be lucrative for you. And the next card up is, and this is for the internal forces. So this is talking about all the possibilities out there, you needing to be aware of them and then be able to choose which one is the best one for you at this time. And the internal forces are what you have control over. So you can't control what other people say or do, but you can control your reaction or your response to it. And you can put your energy where you want to put it and make sure that you put a good spin on it. It feels like here's the first card out here is, it's clearly some sort of heartache, something has happened. And the Three of Swords, the swords in tarot represent your thoughts. It's the element of air. So this is talking about your mental intelligence, your processing of, in your mind, your discipline of your mind and of your emotions. And there clearly has been something happened here where there's 3 swords in the heart. So this card says that there usually is forgiveness needed and also healing of the heart for sure. And this is talking about, quite often the swords can represent harsh words being spoken, because it's sitting in the throat. Someone who's afraid to speak their truth. This energy can represent gossip, slander, you know, and overall, overall, this is saying that there's a heartbreaking decision that needs to be made. And sometimes in romantic love, this could represent a third-party involvement, driving a couple apart, basically. And this card also can represent, you know, for a person to get into their heart's desires and learn how to come from that place. We'll see. We'll keep going here and see what's going on here. What's the heartbreaking decision? One thing I want to point out is that the heart is really big for the size of the swords. So when you look at it again, you realize, oh, wait a minute, those swords are like small. They're more like nails or pinpricks, or like they're not as bad, or stakes, you know, that type of energy. Maybe you're dealing with a vampire. I don't know, possibly. All right, then we have the Magician here, and this is talking about an energetic upgrade. And, you know, this card is saying you can bring your thoughts from above down to below and create a beautiful garden. And you have all the tools you need. You need to learn how to use the tools and your infinite potential. Like, this is representing 100% infinite potential to the power of infinity and beyond. So bringing that energy down to earth to be able to manifest a beautiful garden. So you need to use the tools. You need to know which tool to use at the right time, and, you know, how to use them. And if you've ever created a garden or done landscaping, had a yard, you may have noticed you can leave the tools laying around, but they don't get up and do the work for you. You have to apply yourself. And here we have the Lovers. So this is talking about after some sort of you know, heartbreaking energy, you've come to a decision to upgrade. And so this is how you feel. You feel like maybe you're feeling like you finally have healed your heart after a hardship. And this is, you feel really abundant. You realize, okay, I'm still alive. Whatever happened here, I want to move forward, and I want to have the life that I deserve. And that's when all of a sudden a new lover shows up here. And the Lover card is representing the sun is shining here. So this could be a divine partner appointed by the Most High for you to enjoy. Someone that would really respect you, and you wouldn't maybe have this type of situation with them. There is a cloud between you, which is representing that you have to, you may not know this person, or if you do know them, you may have met them in the past, but it's someone that you haven't had an intimate relationship with. And that's in your early communication. So this could be talking about maybe when you were young, you would always dream about, oh, when I get older and I get married, I'm going to have the perfect partner, and we're going to have the 2.5 children, and, you know, that type of energy, like where you really pictured in your mind how it would be. And unfortunately, expectations will create limitations. So you may have found out the hard way that even matters of love don't go exactly the way you think they're going to, and you're better off anticipating a good future rather than expecting the person to be exactly this person that does exactly this in this way, and that you react exactly like this. It's more like that all just creates limitations for you. You might have had you know, your expectations in life in general could be limiting for you from your childhood. So you may have been brought up that things are a certain way and they have to be that way. And for you, it's not maybe working. Sometimes the Lover's card represents some just choices that you're making about who you have in your life in all ways. You know, it doesn't have to represent an actual lover. Quite often it does, but it doesn't have to. And the Star energy is talking about you're ready to shine. This is talking about how your home life is and how you feel, like your emotional foundation. And, you know, like coming home into yourself is what I'm picking up here. So the Star energy is talking about following your North Star. Your North Star is your North Node energy, what you were destined to do when you came here. And this is a galactic energy. She's got her right foot in the universal pool, and she's adding her own special elements to it. And then she's pouring that out onto Earth here. And there's 5 streams, and the 5 streams actually represent the 5 points on the Pentacle star. We don't have any pentacles here. What we have here is more about love and, and passion, really. So while we do have this pentacle here, there is some, there we go. I was wondering, because pentacles in tarot represent health, wealth, and happiness in the 3rd dimensional world. And it's representing, of course, the coin is representing money. Money is an important part of health, wealth, and happiness in the world today, for sure. But you could have all the money in the world, and if you don't have your health or any love in your life, then you're not going to be living the best lifestyle that you could be living. And this is talking about the Knight of Pentacles is bringing some sort of communication in. The Knights would work for the King and Queen in the old days. They were the long distance communication. That was the only communication style they had available to them. And so the Knights would travel far and wide delivering messages for the king and then bring them back. So it was quite slow, and out of all of the Knights, this one is the slowest. The Knight of Pentacles takes forever. Sometimes it's like you wait and you wait for this information or this communication to come through. And it can be really irritating. You know, he sometimes has to have a conference with himself just to brush his teeth. Like he is very meticulous about gathering research and making sure that the information that he brings forth is correct. And this is a good energy to be in when it comes to pentacles for financial, but for lifestyle choices, you can't be constantly overthinking everything. And so that's what basically, I feel there's some sort of communication coming in. Maybe you've been waiting to hear from someone or from a company or something like that. Maybe because it looks like you're about to launch a new project here. Something is launching in your life. So it could be this, maybe you're starting a relationship, but I feel like it has something to do with this pentacle energy. So the Knight of Pentacles, when, in the old days, the Knights would always be male and they would always be in person, the communication. But these days, this could, any of the characters in tarot can be male or female. They're not gender specific. It's more about masculine and feminine energy. So just keep that in mind. And also, we have so many ways of communicating that the Knights did not have back then, that the kings and queens weren't able to use. And so this could come. It doesn't have to come in by person. It could be a phone call, a text message. Maybe you get an email or something comes in the post. Some documents or paperwork or something like that, an invitation. You might be on social media, someone messages you. There's so many platforms on social media. And then you might even go to an event posted on social media, and that's when you meet someone in person. And maybe you're looking for some advice about a particular project that you're wanting to start, and this is the perfect advice coming in. If that's the case and you're looking for information, it's always a really good idea to pay attention what's going on at the top of the pyramid when it comes to information about what's going on in the world. Like what are the world leaders doing, what's happening for them. That trickles down for sure to everybody below in the pyramid, and that kind of energy, sometimes you might see something on the news that's a new trend or something that's coming up, or you might get a really aha moment, of something that you maybe want to launch. This card here, the 8 of Wands, is talking about what something has been launched. It's already on its way. So I feel like maybe that's what is happening here, or it could be representing this energy here. But with the star energy, this is about your destiny. So you may have met someone and then it has caused you to come forward. Now with this card, this is the most traditional and someone who really is maternal and loves children, in that this sometimes actually means actual conception of a baby. So if you're you're meeting up with someone You don't want to get pregnant or get someone pregnant, be aware of that. You're fertile right now. There's a possibility here of conception. And then we have, for the external forces, this is talking about sowing seeds and for your lifestyle. And the Six of Pentacles would be like around upper middle class energy. So this person has enough coin that they decide they are going to give to charity, and they're giving to this person, but they're not giving to this one because they're learning discernment, the give and take of like how much do you want to, how much money, time, and energy do you want to invest in someone or something? And who do you want to invest it with or on? And what is your anticipated return, so that you're not disappointed? Like you want to have a good idea of what you have, what you want the benefit to be, so that if you can kind of keep track of whether it's worth your time. And this here is talking about this person. There's the scales of justice are over this person, and they've got something in their pocket here already. So this is a grifter. This is someone that, they have what they need to get started, but they would rather just take it from someone else because they don't want to risk their own money. That's the energy I'm picking up. So this is talking about the underlying energy for the external forces. Sometimes this can represent breadcrumbing. Like, if you're with someone in an investment and they invest with you, but they're hiding the fact that they have some money tucked away somewhere and they don't tell you about it because they don't want to risk their money. They want to risk your money. That's the kind of energy I'm picking up here. So just be aware of that. That might be what happened back here. This can be talking about a situation you were in the past and you've healed from it, or this could be talking about the beginning of an unfortunate event. Now, when God is shining light on a divine couple like this, quite often it wouldn't be this particular. This would be a new lover, which is the way I'm leaning right now. But let's see what else is going on here. We have the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is representing a breath of fresh air. This is someone that, this is like those aha moments where you're like, aha. Maybe you just went for a walk and you've been thinking about something, and all of a sudden it comes to you. And it's, give me some paper, I need to write this down. I don't want to forget. It's that type of energy. And the pages, they would work for the king and queen. At a much younger age, around 7 to 14. You have to remember back then, people didn't have the life expectancy we have now. It'd be about half of what it is now. So they didn't have childhood like we consider it. And by the time they were 14, a lot of people were already, out and on their own and married, etc. So this energy is talking about the discipline of the mind again, and it's the thought process. The Page of Swords, he is the only one of all the pages that's not really focused on his element. He's actually looking away from it because he already knows the logical answer or question. He's looking for an intuitive answer. The swords are double-edged. You need to use your logic and your intuition to come to a creative solution. And he is looking away because he's thinking outside the box, and he's looking for, what does my intuition feel I should do? That type of energy. And then he will apply the logic and the intuition together to come up with a creative solution or a creative idea, that sort of energy. And this is in your position of partnerships, commitments, and marriage. So this person that you've met might be very different from someone that you normally would date. It could feel like a breath of fresh air, someone that you can really, have like a lot of good ideas. Like the wands in tarot represent passion, and they represent passionate action. And if you think about the centaur, the horoscope figure for Sagittarius, the centaur shoots his arrows into the sky, into the celestial skies, and they hit the target. And boom, 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 then all of a sudden everything lines up. And this is that alignment. And it's talking about this is already launched in the spiritual world. Now, once again, this could be about just this lover coming in, and he's a breath of fresh air, or she's a breath of fresh air for you. And this energy here is talking about it's already happening in the spiritual, and so it's coming in fast. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune is saying, yes, your good fortune is coming through. This energy, it's interesting, this is Sagittarius energy, and so is this. Now, we do have a Sagittarius full moon, and that's what this reading is about. And I'm waiting for it to show up here, and here it is. So this is the Sagittarius energy. We have a blue moon. So a blue moon is about the energy of 2 moons in 1 month. So in the month of May, we had a full moon already on the 1st of May, and now we have one coming up on the 31st of May. And this is a rare event. You know, it's pretty rare. It happens about every 2.5 to 3 years. And you may have found that this month has been a little bit more emotional for you than usual. If you were looking for my new moon reading, I did leave a post about it, but I didn't do a new moon reading because of this second full moon, because it's quite significant. It only, as I said, happens about every 3 years. And I feel like it's kind of like a launching pad, basically, for moving forward in a really strong way into the month of June. The blue moon energy, don't look for the moon to actually look blue. Sometimes the moon does turn blue from the view of the earth, but that's generally if a volcano explodes and there's enough ash in the air that it blocks out the red filter, the filters for the red light energy in the light spectrum. So that it makes the moon look blue. But we're talking about just the saying, they say once in a blue moon this happens. And so that's the energy. And the thing is that in June, on June 9th, Venus and Jupiter are going to be in the sign of Cancer for the first time, I think, in about 30 years. And a lot of people are saying, a lot of astrologers feel that this is the luckiest day of the year for money and love. And some are even saying for the decade. So keeping that in mind in this reading, I feel like the blue moon is also a very rare occasion. I've looked back in the past, and on times when I have launched projects on the blue moon, they're always been really successful for me. Like there's hardship. It's interesting because they'll be really challenging, like this energy here. But if you push through that challenge, then all of a sudden, it's like an extra burst of energy, and this is a highly intuitive time for a lot of people that aren't normally that intuitive, because there's actually like the 2 full moons and the new moon energy all in 1 month. And the Wheel of Fortune is turning. You've got this energy launching. I would say, keep in mind, like June 9th is like the money love day. And we have a pentacle here and we have a lover here. So Virgo, I'd say, this is a pretty good indication. You want to move forward in a strong way, using your intuition and your logic, and not limiting yourself to expectations of how you feel that things should be. That's the whole point of the blue moon. It only happens once in a blue moon. All right, and then so the Wheel of Fortune is turning, and this is actually 3 wheels, the past, the present, and the future turning together. And this energy, on one of the wheels we have the Hebrew letters for the name of God, and that is a tetragrammaton. And this is a sacred geometric symbol saying that things are being put into divine order, in perfect order from the Most High. And this is God's plan. And so, we have it here, and now we have it again. And it's saying that this is going to cause some sort of transition in your life. And then we have the moon energy coming out again. So the moon has been showing up a lot, and also this the moon rules Cancer, and so I think it's just giving confirmation what I just said about Venus and Jupiter coming together on June 9th. Keep that in mind so that you can move forward and do some work on yourself too. Like, don't watch your self-talk. Make sure that you're not, you know, cutting yourself down. Even if things, the weird thing about the blue moon energy that I've noticed is that it is very much this energy where there's a lot of challenge to it. So, you know, it'll look like, oh, things aren't going to work out and it's going to be really hard. And then all of a sudden you're going to realize it turns out against all odds. That's the kind of energy. And so this is hidden secrets and illusions coming out. And it's talking about climbing out of that emotional water and going into putting something into action. This lobster doesn't really, like, it's kind of like this energy wanting to climb in your shell and not come out, but like you want to walk forward. This lobster's like, no, I have to keep going on my path. I want this. I want this promise coming through. And but there's this dog and this wolf, and they're both howling at the moon, and he's like, wow, like I got to get past them and have them not notice me. Now, these two pillars represent staying on the straight and narrow, like not being distracted from your destined path, and not letting other people stop you, not letting circumstances stop you. But this sometimes can represent, like, maybe you've been isolating yourself a lot and you're feeling really domestic. How are you going to run into your new lover if you're never out and about ever? You know, and this is talking about maybe you've been out and about too much and you may need to check your mail. Come home once in a while. And so this is talking about also the eclipse season. We have the full moon, the new moon, and then the sun represented here. And this is talking about the eclipses. And we did have eclipses back on February 17th and March 3rd. Now that's like potpourri burning on the back burner. It's you're not going to notice it so much, but 6 months from now, around mid-August, you might look back on your life and say, whoa, a lot happened. I didn't realize that much happened in my life. There was so much change. And that's because you were so busy dealing with the change. You didn't have time to notice how much change there was. And so it can be like in August, if you take an inventory back to like around the end of February, what was going on in your life then and what's going on in your life right now, it could be significantly different. And this is in higher learning and education. Yeah, and this is talking about someone walking away from something they love, or you walked away from something. Now, this is in your external forces. I feel that this could have been a third-party energy and someone walked away from you to be with someone else. We have, and this is after being in the relationship probably for up to, you know, there was 5 good years, and then this can talk about 7, 8, or 6, 7, 8, or it could be like 5 good years and then a couple here, and a gap in between them caused by a third party. And that person may have walked away, or you may have found out about it and walked away. And we have, again, we have the new moon and the full moon emphasizing this moon energy. So this is talking about the information possibly coming in from that. And this is also about your career and reputation. So there could be some information coming in regarding that kind of energy. You know, remember, I said this can be gossip and slander and harsh words. Someone might have been doing something behind your back here. You know, breadcrumbing you somehow. Remember, this came up and I was like, oh, it could be a partner that was hiding some money. That kind of energy. Maybe they pretended they were poor so that you would foot the bill for everything. That could be. And then we have it sounds kind of crazy, but some people actually live like that. They tuck their money away and then they pretend that they don't have any so that they can, you know, oh, well, can you just grab that for me kind of energy. It's like a breadcrumbing, you know, it's cheap. So the hangman is hanging there from the tree of knowledge and upside down, and he wants to gain a new perspective. And I mean, what better way than the opposite of up and down? And so this is when he gains, he's looked at something from every angle, then he decides to take his action. And this is in blessings coming towards you. So I feel like you might have been waiting a long time for this blessing to come in with this energy here and this one right across from it, you know. saying, hey, it's been a long time coming, but it's on its way. And look at this. Then we have, there's some money. Now we're talking. And look at the difference here. Like this person, this is representing you moving into this new energy, I feel. This is now, the heartbreak is now you have your mind disciplined and you're plugged into your heart's desires, and now this energy is coming in. That's how I'm seeing it. And the Six of Pentacles, you notice he's giving some of that away. She's got her hand on it because she's got 3 more here. And so this is talking about a ratio, like she's keeping 2/3 and 1/3 she's holding, the 1/3 she's investing in other things. So this is saying, you know, if you've ever heard of Nikola Tesla, he's a genius and also a famous inventor. He would say that if you knew the beauty of the 369, that you would have the key to the universe. And you see this falcon here, it's saying about having the foresight to be able to move forward. Plus this is pre-Empress energy. This is talking about someone who, you know, the Empress is in the major arcana and she embodies the qualities of all 4 of the queens from the minor arcana because she's learned so much from, you know, what she's been through in her life. And so this is talking about she has her hand on 6 Pentacles, and she, so 2/3 of what she has, she knows this is what's required to pay her bills for her home, her business, you know, whatever, to have extra in case something breaks down. And these 3, like maybe one she uses 1 pentacle for a more risky investment that if it doesn't work out, it's not going to affect her ability to keep moving forward. And it could be like 1 for charity and maybe 1 for saving up for something special. And this is talking about when you realize that you need to look after yourself. And, you know, if you're in an airplane and, you know, they'll always tell you if the oxygen masks come down and you have a child or someone next to you, put your mask on first, because like if you don't, the baby's not going to be able to put your mask on, and you won't be able to look after the baby if you faint from lack of oxygen. So it's important to put yours on first, and then the person next to you, help them out. And that's kind of the energy that's understanding, you know, to invest in yourself, how important it is to be able to invest in yourself. And, you know, moving forward in that energy. So yeah, this is a good reading, Virgo. It's saying there's a lot of opportunity coming. A lot of the readings have been very much, you know, like this. They're, you know, a little bit of hardship, but if you work through it and, you know, you do your due diligence, you could end up in a much better position. I'm going to, well, I'll put this over here. I'm going to clarify this for those that want clarification. If you're leaving the reading here, thank you for your time and energy, and for any likes and comments, I really appreciate them. Also, consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. And I'm going to clarify for those that want more clarification here. We have, this is an oracle that I started back in 2007. I'm an artist. This is actually one of the paintings from that oracle. There's a series of 12 of the horoscope ones. And we have this energy here. All right, so the numbers on these cards represent the energy, sorry, I'm kind of looking at the cards and already like, oh, there's a lot of energy coming in here. All right. Yeah, these numbers represent the paintings as they're listed in the gallery on my website, talesfromthevector.com. And this energy, I'm going to put it in the description box below, the order they appear here, so that you'll know which paintings to look at if you want to take a look at that. So they say a painting paints 1,000 words, and so maybe it'll give you further clarity as to your situation. Now, yeah, like I was just kind of like, whoa, what's the devil doing here on this lover card was the first thing I noticed, but we're going to go through it. So we've got the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor, and this is about, you know, you are a container of love, and you deserve to have love in your thing, and we have it here as well in your transition. So this is talking about this transition happening when the Wheel of Fortune shows up, and it's going to be a whole new world full of opportunity that you need to apply yourself to. So we have that card coming in, confirming that the way things were in the future are going to become better. We have the transition of this energy of being in hurt and closing your heart and not wanting to have love. And the Hierophant is talking about, okay, so this is as above, so below. This is talking about in the spiritual realm, judgment has been called on this situation, and you deserve justice coming in. And the justice, I feel, I don't know that there's a whole lot of cards here that represent any legal actions or anything like that. But this is, because the Hierophant does bring justice down to earth, but this could be as simple as the traditional structure of marriage coming in, if that's what you always wanted, that you have a lover coming in now that is actually going to be beneficial. So now what is the devil doing on this energy right here, this new lover? Let's see, because when the devil comes in, it's usually about temptation. Now this could be about what happened. It's talking about the justice of what happened here, where there was a third party energy. And maybe that's what's been holding you back from moving forward in love in your life again. And you feel like you're just not willing to take that risk again. It was too painful. And this could be talking about the old lover and sending a new one in. That the new lover, let's see, because this is talking about temptation. I always cover the devil when the devil comes in. In my oracle, actually, the devil is a beautiful dragonfly adorned in crystals, and she's got a bright pink background. And that's just saying that, you know, the devil's not going to tempt you with something ugly. The devil is going to tempt you with something shiny and beautiful that you really want. And then the ugly comes when the devil expects payment. And so when I always cover that card, I want to see, oh, look at this. I want to see what is, you know, what is this about, and what does God cover it? And I feel like this is saying if God's sending you a divine partner, it's because of this energy. And I find it really funny that this card came up, because this is about Cancer and the moon and the blue moon. Once in a blue moon. So I feel like this is, and there's, do you want to be engaged, or do you want to be entrenched in the emotion? So it's talking about, you know, now that you've done the healing, that you're ready for a lover that's for you. And I do feel like this is saying also, remember, Venus and Jupiter are moving into the sign of Cancer on June 9th. So it's confirming, I feel it's confirming that, you know, things are getting better. And then we have dissension. And with friends like this, who needs enemies? You've been swimming with sharks, and so you don't have to worry about that so much anymore. I feel like that situation is changing. Basically, I was kind of picking that energy up, that this could have been someone that you considered to be a close friend that was gossiping and slandering behind your back, and possibly even is the third party energy. Or caused, the gossip and slander caused you to not be able to move forward with this lover, or something like that. An ego is talking about the karmic space of ego is, you know, keep your ego in check, yes, because your ego can get ahead of yourself. And I feel like this isn't talking so much about, in spiritual, when spiritual people talk about the ego, they're talking about, you know, the ego will tell you that everything material is all there is, and that you don't have a spiritual side, and that's totally untrue. And so it's partly that, but I feel like it's partly this energy that was coming in from this other person who hides their money so that they don't risk their own and they just risk yours. And then this is talking about, Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini back in, now it's been about a month and a half, about a month now. And that energy, Uranus has not been in the sign of Gemini since 1941 to 1949. and it will be in the sign of Gemini for the next 7 or 8 years. And the bottom line about that is the truth is coming out. Every day I've noticed there's some, you check it out, there's like some wild, like a more extreme truth coming out than even before. I mean, in the last few months, we've had all the files energy, and we've had like a lot happening in the world, you know, in the price of oil because of it, and all the fighting and all of that world events. But now things are being narrowed down, and justice is being served against certain people that you thought justice will never come to these people. We're seeing people who were getting away with shift for a very long time. All of a sudden they're not getting away with it anymore, and they're having to go to court or whatever because of it. So that if it's happening with the elite, then it's also going to be happening with you know, everything below in the pyramid, as I said. And so the truth is coming out, and it's going to be like this for the next 7 or 8 years, so we may as well get used to it. I'm all for it. Like, let's bring the truth out. Let's see what's, you know, if you're on your destined path, the truth is your best friend. And then and that's saying that here in the star, that you might find out that, you know, that your ex-partner or whatever, this person that broke your heart in this way, that there was a lot of energy behind it. And to stop you from being able to step into your power, because there was people thinking that they could do it better than you, breadcrumb you, take your information and go run with it and make the money instead. So, you know, they were wrong, and they're going to get caught. That's basically what this reading is saying. There's judgment, and so long as you're on the right side of the law, you're on the right side of the spiritual law, and you're, you know, on your destined path, and you're doing the work, and you're meditating and praying, and you're not taking advantage of other people or stealing from them, like, you're okay. Then you know, and that's what this is saying, unfettered judgment. This is the cosmic heart. This is God's judgment. We can't be in a place where we can judge other people, because we don't know what people have gone through. Only God knows people's hearts, and God likes to give people a lot of chances. But I feel like a line was drawn when Uranus went into Gemini. And when was that? That was, it was about 5 weeks ago now, I think. I'm going to have to look it up. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be like that until 2033, basically. So this energy here is pride before the fall. So this can be, you know, some people are in an all or nothing energy, and you don't have to be in that energy where it's like every day has to be absolutely perfect, or the first sign of imperfection, then you fall back into old ways, and who cares, I'm not going to work on it anyway then. There's also shooting star energy coming in. And this is talking about that base root chakra, having a really good, strong attitude. Like, you got to get out. You have to, you know, put your energy into something for, you can't just wish upon a shooting star and sit there. It's saying that the opportunity is there. Something you've always wished for is there, but you've got to put your energy and your own spin on it. And then we have the superstar energy, which is coming from the throat chakra. Speaking your truth. I feel this is also saying be careful how you speak about yourself to yourself, because you want to create harmony in your life, and so you need to be your own best friend. Because with friends like the ones you had, who needs enemies? You need to be not talking shit about yourself. You need to, you know, uplift yourself with your words that you're using about yourself. We can get into bad habits of putting ourselves down. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemies. Justice is coming in. That's the blessing. The blessing is continuing on to have a really good life. Although there could be, with these cards here, some sort of unexpected money coming your way or whatever with this, from maybe something that happened, and you're missing money and now it's coming through. This is talking about worldly and otherworldly desires. So it's saying give yourself total permission to go after what your heart wants. You know, you know, like as I said before, with the pentacle energy, you could have all the money in the world, but if you're not happy, you know, you're not living a happy lifestyle, then, you know, you could use some change in that area. I do hope you've enjoyed this. This was a really good reading. It's got a lot of good advice in it. Please give it a like and comment if you've enjoyed it. I really appreciate it. It helps me build my channel so I can keep doing this. And also, consider subscribing. I would be honored if you did so. All right, Virgo, bye for now.